Hello, my name is Zachary Levi. I should have a little tag. And I play Shazam. We all established something very special in the first movie, and in Shazam, Fury of the Gods, we expand on that.
Now they have to balance their life with being superheroes.
This is where you hang out with your superhero friends, isn't it?
These goddesses come to our world.
Our incredible new villains, Lui and Helen Mirren. She's kick-ass as Calypso.
We have mythological creatures.
Minotaurs, harpies, and dragons.
When I talk about upgrades, we got an upgrade, a huge upgrade in the suit. Bigger action sequences, bigger set pieces.
We go from Athens to Philadelphia. We go from the Rock of Eternity and the Library of Eternity to the Realm of the Gods. So we get to go to environments that were never explored in the first film.
We have it all.
3, 2, 1.
Shazam, Fury of the Gods takes the excitement and the action to a whole new level.
It's going to be more of a spectacle.
This fun all around. You're in store for a treat, y'all.
Why is it so dark? Probably would have been a good idea to have like one light on.
Welcome back, everyone. This will be my video for the Shazam 2 teaser trailer they released, Fury of the Gods. There's obviously a bunch of new characters and new mythology they're weaving into this. It's huge, so we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. Also explain how this ties in with what's going on in the Black Adam movie in the future of the Shazam versus Black Adam films that they have planned. And if it wasn't clear, all this is happening in the DCEU on the same Earth that the Justice League Snyder Cut took place on, so this is all canon. It's just that the Black Adam movie is taking place over in the Middle East in Kahndaq, and this is taking place in Philadelphia. But the big thing that they're teasing in the movie here is that this is basically them versus the gods that they get their powers from. So the Fury of the Gods is the Fury of the Gods that they get their powers from. The name Shazam is an acronym. It's the wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Hercules, the stamina of Atlas, the power of Zeus, the courage of Achilles, and the speed of Mercury. So in the movie, the gods that they're fighting here, even though there are only 2 that you see, they're technically 3 gods, 3 sisters that they're facing, and they're the daughters of the Titan Atlas. So when the Shazamly is wielding the power of Atlas when their powers are activated, they essentially took that power from these sisters' father. And you actually see Atlas in the realm of the gods. There's a statue of him holding the earth on his shoulders. Helen Mirren is playing Hespera, Lui is playing her younger sister, Calypso, and Rachel Zeigler, we don't know her name, but she's also wearing like this bright gold godly armor, so even though they show you some footage of her talking to Freddie Freeman looking like a young, beautiful girl, she's just also one of their younger sisters pretending to be a normal person when she meets Freddie Freeman here. It's just that her sisters, played by Helen Mirren and Lui, are the ones that you see doing most of the damage in all the footage. If you're not familiar with Greek mythology, the Titan Atlas actually had 7 daughters, mythologically that is. They're referred to as the Pleiades, and they represent a constellation in the night sky. You see a mixture of behind-the-scenes footage, the new Shazam Family costumes, the way they've changed the Rock of Eternity, and obviously some of the big fight scenes. But the staff that you see them looking at here, Hespera and Calypso, Lui and Helen Mirren's characters, is the same staff that belonged to the wizard Shazam that they broke during the first movie. That's why it's in 2 pieces, because Billy Batson broke it in half after he shared his power with the rest of the family. But it seems like it still holds a lot of power and is one of the big MacGuffins of the film. The gods want the staff back for some reason, and it might be so that they can take the power of their father, the Titan Atlas, back from the Shazam family. So it's like the Shazam family effectively stole the power of the gods to power themselves up. You see footage of Rachel Zeigler's character talking to Freddie Freeman on the rooftop of their school. You also see some exteriors of that later in the trailer too. The way they're playing this, it sounds like there's going to be some sort of romance between their characters, like she meets him pretending to be a normal girl and he kind of falls in love with her, because in this later footage here, you see Hespera and Calypso, her sisters, Rachel Zeigler's sisters, show up and grab Freddie Freeman and take him back to the realm of the gods. You can see him here kind of freaking out in the background here inside their temple. But because you see so much of Rachel Zeigler in her gold god costume, clearly they're going to play it for a big reveal in the movie. There's even a scene that looks like her protecting him before he's activated his powers, or maybe he can't activate his powers at this point in the film. Because like I said, if they're trying to take the powers of the Titan Atlas back, take some of the powers of the Shazam family back, then either they'd be significantly weaker or they just full-on lose their ability to transform. Also, the other really big thing in this trailer you notice is that they're bringing the wizard Shazam back, Djimon Hounsou's character, but he actually kind of looks like a younger version of the character. And if you remember, he actually died during the events of the first film, so either they're bringing him back from across time and space, or they're bringing him back from the realm of the dead, because remember, this is all playing on Greek mythology. So there is Hades, there is an underworld, there is a realm of the dead. Somehow they bring him back because you see him standing here with the rest of the Shazam family before they transform, like all of them in present day, standing in front of this parking garage. All the mythological creatures and monsters that they tease for the show and then show off here, this first one is the Chimera, the second one is the Cyclops. Even though they talk about Minotaurs, they'll just be Minotaurs in it as well. These are the Harpies, and then they say they'll be full-blown dragons. Like you see Billy Batson later in the trailer fighting a dragon, or they're filming a scene of him fighting a dragon with a bunch of special effects. This is its giant tail. These soldiers in the gold animalistic armor are just the gods' minions. Like you see one of them bring part of the Staff of Eternity to one of them. The scenes they talk about in Athens that they show you here are just amongst the ruins of the gods' ancient temples. There might be flashbacks to ancient Greece when the gods reigned supreme. And I know a lot of you are asking about Wonder Woman crossover because Wonder Woman and the Shazam characters kind of share a pantheon of gods. But by present day, in the Wonder Woman canon, most of the gods have been killed off. So we'll see how they reference that because there are a couple other Wonder Woman Easter eggs during this footage. Like when they show you the inside of the Rock of Eternity, the Shazam family has redecorated it to make it look like their living room, like a childhood fantasy lair. If you were a little kid and you wanted to make your own Batcave, what would it look like? It looked something like this. They have a little shrine to the Justice League. There's Wonder Woman and the Flash over here on the right. I don't know if that implies that they're both going to cameo during this movie. They did say that they wanted to get a Wonder Woman cameo. They've also decorated over all the 7 deadly sins in comedic ways, like they drew a bikini on one. They made a joke about gluttony starting to eat kale. They've even decorated all the thrones. Like I said, it's basically a childhood fantasy lair. Like if you told a bunch of children they could do anything that they wanted to with their room, this is what it would look like. Then when they show you the inside of the Library of Eternity, it's a different part of the Rock of Eternity with them just staring at this magical artifact. It's meant to contain the sum total of all magical knowledge, like an infinite library on everything magic. Then the temple on the mountaintop is the realm of the gods, so to speak, the gods that are still alive. So the Greek Titan Atlas here, the statue behind them, Hespera and Calypso seem like they rule here, and obviously their sister, Rachel Zeigler. Like I said, I think the reason they're doing that is just to play it for a big reveal during the movie, early theory. Like they make you think that she's just a normal girl, but then some big WTF action scene happens and you find out that she's nearly indestructible and super powerful, just like her sisters. Because so much of this movie is playing on the idea of the Greek Titans in their battle with the gods and what happened to create the Shazam character. Like, where did the wizard Shazam get all of his power from in this staff? How did he steal the power of the Titan Atlas? They might do some flashbacks like the first Wonder Woman movie did, or even the Justice League Snyder cut with the big Darkseid War flashback, where they give you this giant tutorial on the origin of the gods themselves. They show off more of the fight scenes, which seem way more epic than the ones in the first film. Then they just focus on each of the new characters and their new costumes, basically saying during the events of this film, the Shazam family has effectively learned to balance their normal lives and their superhero lives. The other big thing here is that we have Grace Fulton, the person who played young Mary Marvel, is now also playing the powered-up version of her character just because she'd aged up in real life and looked like she could pull it off. The way that Zachary Levi explained the Black Adam crossover, because we just got that big Black Adam trailer, when are they actually going to fight each other? Both he and The Rock said that they basically have a plan to eventually do a crossover movie, but it won't happen till after Shazam 2 and after the first Black Adam film. So it might wind up being Shazam 3, they could do it as a separate film, and then do Shazam 3 as something completely different. But they're in the same universe. You could make the comparison to Spider-Man with Tom Holland and Tom Hardy's Venom character crossing over. So Spider-Man versus Venom required a little bit of multiverse travel. They don't have to do that during the Shazam and Black Adam crossovers. But there's a bunch more DC fandom footage and trailers. I'll try to do videos for all that stuff really soon. Eternals is coming out pretty soon too, and I believe the review embargo is up. So my Eternals review will post on Sunday. Look out for that. Make sure you have alerts enabled for my channel so you don't miss anything. Everyone click here for that Black Adam trailer video, and click here for the Batman trailer video and Easter eggs too. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.